Kevin Hart's roast aired a few weeks ago, but the conversation around it is far from over. People are now reacting strongly to his recent Breakfast Club interview, where he addressed the moment that's had everyone talking: comedian Tony Hinchcliffe's joke about George Floyd during the roast. Hart's position was essentially this: he can't control what another comedian says, especially someone like Hinchcliffe, whose style of comedy is known for going to extreme places. Hart acknowledged the joke was in poor taste, but also defended the nature of roast culture, where boundaries are pushed and almost anything is considered fair game. The response has been divided. A portion of people understood his position, recognizing that it was a live production, that Hart didn't say it himself, and that you simply can't rewind a moment once it happens. But a significant number of people weren't buying it, feeling that some lines shouldn't be crossed regardless of the format, and that a stronger response was warranted. One of the more notable things Hart mentioned during that interview was that he reached out to Stephen Jackson following the incident. Now, for those who may not know, Stephen Jackson and George Floyd had a genuine bond. I remember Jackson going live years ago, boxing up clothing from his own closet to send to Floyd and other close friends. These were real people with a real...
Said it. So when you say the family and the family's affected, I didn't disrespect the family. Showed up for the family when it happened. Made sure that the family felt supported. Made sure that all things there were actually cool. Behind the scenes, just as an example, you know the one person that I talked to, and I'm not even gonna tell you the conversation, Stephen Jackson.
Oh, I know he caught that.
That's because that's my nigga.
Yeah.
Hey, Stack, let me just call you, man, so I can explain to you like the world of the roast, X, Y, and Z. We talked. I get it, Kev. We had a great conversation. But that's what I mean when I say, hey, man, let me call the one person after. And that's before whatever you're talking about. That's immediate. Stack, hey, Tony threw one out there. It's this and this, but you do know that that's what this shit is a roast. But I just want you to know from my side, that man is on his own.
Kev did reach out to me. I've been knowing Kev a long time, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been knowing Kev a long time. And it kind of came off as he made it sound like I agreed with the roast. No, I did not. I didn't agree with the joke. When he called me, he was basically calling me out of respect as friends. And basically, I cut him off. I know what a roast is. I understand what a roast is. I watch him. I love him. I watch him. I love comedy. I love Kevin. I'm a fan of Kevin. That's my homeboy. I've been knowing him a long time. But the only thing I wanted to express to Kev was, it's a lot of people like me that's under the old law that I would never laugh at no joke about dead people. Anytime somebody demeans the dead, it turns my stomach because it's the lowest thing you can do. When they made the jokes about his family, it wasn't funny to me either, because it shows that you're not as talented as you are when you got to pick on people that can't defend themselves, right? So for me, I just let him know that he just had to understand that ain't everybody's flavor. Everybody don't laugh at that because some of us still have morals. I still say yes ma'am, no ma'am. I still open doors for people. You know what I'm saying? I still respect my elders. So joking on anybody, Charlie Kirk, anybody. And Charlie Kirk talked about George Floyd. But I would never laugh at somebody talking about somebody that got killed or somebody that's not here, bro. So demeaning the dead at any point, at any time, is never funny to me, regardless who it is. You know what I'm saying? And I had to let him know that. Am I mad at him? No, I ain't mad at him. He didn't say it. I sent a DM to who said it, directed dead at him. Kevin didn't say it. I understand business. I understand what he had going on. I didn't expect Kev to jump up there and say, no. I don't expect people to take up for me. You know what I'm saying? That's just not realistic. You got to be grown. You got to be realistic. I understand he was at a roast, so that wasn't Kevin's place to jump up there and say, no, you can't say that. They said all kinds of bro. But my hate is directed strictly at who said it. Kev, my boy, get your money, Kev. I'm glad you was number one. I ain't mad at Kev, and I appreciate him calling me. You know what I'm saying? Because if Gianna ever called me for an explanation of why, I want to have an explanation. So that's my only thing. I ain't mad at him. I ain't doing all the other. I'm speaking for me too. I'm speaking for me. I don't speak for Georgie's family. I don't speak for them because I don't know. I don't really know none of them. You know what I'm saying? I met some of them during this time, but I really don't know none of them. The only person I know that's kin to him is Wu and his sisters. And y'all don't know his sisters. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? They really out there. They really in the streets. And I love them to death. That's the ones I know. So, you know what I'm saying? Nah, it's just, I don't for clout. I ain't get out there and jump and say Kevin Hart name. I ain't do all that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I directed straight at the nigga who said the joke, point blank. And if they joke on somebody, my worst enemy, if I see somebody, which I don't have no enemies, but if I had an enemy and somebody joked on somebody dead in his family, I wouldn't co-sign that. Because I'm too solid. I don't understand that, bro. I don't understand it. Why you gotta pick on somebody that's not here to demean them? You know what I'm saying? So like, we got a great understanding, man. That's my boy. I ain't mad at him. Like I said, I'm speaking for me. I can't speak for nobody else. I won't care if it continue to win. That's my dog. Actually, we got something we doing with him coming up that we already had on the calendar we was doing anyway. So people just want him to be accountable. But like, yeah, it was on his show, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I understand the outrage. And I'm not mad. Shit, I feel y'all. But I'm mad at the who said the joke the same way. I am. But I'll never be mad at Kev. I get it. We got to understand. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? We able to talk. See, this is a thing too. This way, and I know y'all will understand this. Why would I be mad at Kev, somebody that came to Georgie's funeral, that supported the family? Why would I be mad at him when there's people who out here right now saying stuff about George Floyd every day? You should die. You and him should die. His daughter should die. Like, it's people out here that's really saying it, that really feel that way. Why would I turn that negative energy to my brother? Like I said, he didn't say it, so nah. And that's what they want. That's what they want. They want to knock a black man off the throne, bro. Nah, I'm cool, Kev. I appreciate the call. You didn't say the joke. You know what I'm saying? It was very distasteful, and I directed my problems.
So there you have it. Steven Jackson confirmed he spoke with Kevin Hart directly, and that conversation has only added more fuel to an already intense debate. Hart has been catching serious heat from multiple directions. Eton Thomas was among those who called him out publicly, and the full Breakfast Club interview has generated a wave of backlash that you really have to see for yourself to understand the full scope of it. People are drawing comparisons to Samuel L. Jackson's character, Steven, from Django, essentially accusing Hart of running cover for Tony Hinchcliffe rather than taking a firm stand. Now, I did some digging on Hinchcliffe because, honestly, he wasn't someone I knew a great deal about going into this. What I found is that racial material is a consistent part of his act, and that's exactly where a lot of people's frustration goes deeper than just one joke at a roast. The concern isn't just what he said, it's the belief that for someone like Hinchcliffe, those jokes aren't really jokes. The argument is that he uses comedy as a vehicle to express views he actually holds, wrapping them in punchlines to avoid accountability. That's what people mean when they say he's disguising his truth as humor. And look, Kevin Hart's team made the decision to include him. They knew his reputation going in. The potential for something like this wasn't unpredictable. So while the live format does limit what you can control in the moment, the booking decision itself is fair to examine. This also brings up a broader conversation about racial comedy and where the line is. There's a difference between a comedian who handles sensitive material with intelligence and intention, someone like Dave Chappelle, who ties race and politics together in a way that's layered and deliberate, and someone who just leans into shock value without the craft to back it up. I've covered situations like this before on the channel, where comedians crossed into territory that outraged people, and the common thread is usually the same. It's not just what you say, it's whether you have the skill and the awareness to carry it. From what I've seen of Hinchcliffe's style, it's just not something I'd seek out personally. Watching one of his segments, it felt like he just kept pushing and pushing without a real point behind it, more relentless than clever. That's just my honest take.
At the end of the day, Kevin Hart knew the risk. Whether he wants to fully own that or not is a different conversation, but the audience is watching, and they're making their own judgment.